What I think is interesting, if we shift to soybeans for Brazil, there were some news reports around late planting occurring in Brazil. It wasn't clear if they meant late planting, relative to a bunch of prior years, or late planting relative to the prior year, relative to the 24, 25 season. But either way, given the limited amount of data, I don't see any emergencies occurring in the planted progress here. The risk of soybean planted progress in many of these states is that it delays the second season corn. And then the second season corn doesn't have as much time to reach full yield, and therefore second season corn yields are impacted. So that's why Brazil Brazil planted progress is closely watched. The biggest delay in soybean planted progress is here in Maranhão. And so we see this year so far is pretty significantly delayed. But as we see, the percent of national production is just under 3%. So it's not a huge risk, even if this delay materially impacts yields there. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to show this graphic right again in the U.S. summer grain analysis. We showed some analysis of weather and how it impacts the crop progress data. And so here is a chance where, in this case, we're showing the precipitation accumulation relative to normal against the Brazilian soybean planted progress for Maranhão. And it appears that the dry conditions, in fact, created the planting delays. And we see here, even where the drier than normal conditions are starting to be reduced by excess precipitation, we see that the planting progress increases. And so the good news is that weather in South America, or at least Brazil, also impacts planting progress data. And we'll be able to do more analytics on that down the road. So if we look at soybean and first season corn planted progress, the soybean is at 90% nationally. And the Maranhão is delayed, but not substantially. And so it's not unusual to be near 40% for this time of year. And the same for the first season corn. The number is very low, but it's not unexpected for this time of year, given the data that we just looked at. So the summary of this graphic is that the first season corn and the soybean crop is essentially planted. And now we spend the next couple of months watching weather conditions to see how well the crop might develop. So we can take a look at the weather forecast.